And step inside the Mike's Fitness Equipment studio. It's the Inland Sports Show Championship Edition. We are live and amplified from Teen Vision TV 16. Big show coming your way as we break down the three championship games involving our inland sports teams. We're talking about Temecula Valley, Aquinas, and Ramona. We'll have coverage of all three of those games coming up. We'll also check in with the undefeated California Baptist women's basketball team as they get set to take on number 3 Stanford later this week. We start everything off down at Temecula Valley High School. He joined us just a couple weeks ago. He's back because they just keep on winning. It's the head coach of the Golden Bears, Bert Esposito. Coach Esposito, good to see you again because it means you guys are still playing this season. Championship coming up. Is it Friday or Saturday night that you guys are playing for the title?
It'll be Friday night.
Friday night at Cypress. Coach, when you go back, and I was at I think it was the quarterfinals against Carter. You survive an overtime game in the quarterfinals, and here you are now playing for a championship this Friday.
Yeah, and by the way, it'll be at Western High School against Cypress, so this Friday night. But yeah, we're still here.
Coach, you've coached a lot of football. You've seen a lot of different seasons play out, different games play out different ways. But when you look back on this year's team, and you knew what you had coming back. I mean, you were the HS Game Time Coach of the Year last year. I mean, you had a good season last year, but going into this year, was the expectation a CIF championship game appearance? What was the standard? Where was the bar going into this year?
I'm going to be honest. We talked about it. And, I always go into every season and I plan out a 16-game season. And we had talked about it. We knew a lot of things had to work out and we had to find a new quarterback and all that. But it definitely was in our plans.
Of course it's in your plans, right, to get back to a championship game. And Coach, if we can just for a moment look back at that semifinal game against West Ranch. Cut to Pulsifer with, 10 seconds left in the game? I mean, how dramatic, how emotional was that final drive for the Golden Bears?
Well, leading into it, I mean, we were up 24-14 and, we're feeling pretty good. And then a couple of bad things happened. And all of a sudden they put a little drive on. And on fourth down, they went for it, 5 times? They got it 4 times out of 5 on fourth down. And they went for it, and they got it in with just over a minute. And you're just like, oh, boy, here we go. But, Coach Marie and I have been in a lot of games where we've had a minute to go and halftime and have been able to put on a drive with a couple of timeouts. And we had some faith we could get this done. But, yeah, it was pretty exciting to actually have it happen.
Speaking of that kind of game plan, we hear the term 2-minute drill. Did you have a 1-minute drill? Were you like, okay, guys, we know what to do in this situation. We got 60 seconds or however many, seconds you had to get down the field?
We pretty much practice that way all the time. So we don't really have like a 2-minute. We just play fast. And, so it worked out really well.
Well, Coach, again, you're playing Cypress, but at Western High School. That's Anaheim, correct?
Correct.
On Friday night for the Division 6 CIF Southern Section Championship. Do you know, I don't know if you're a Golden Bear historian at this point, but when was the last time, or has Temecula Valley played in a championship game?
Yeah, I think 1992 or 93 was the last time that they'd been there in a championship game. Yeah.
Have you had any former Golden Bears people come out of the woodwork, maybe just people in the local Temecula community say, hey, you know what, man, it's good to see the brown and gold back on top again?
Oh, yeah. No, it's been overwhelming. My phone's blown up. Guys show up at the game last week. I mean, alumni. It's been crazy. Absolutely crazy. Everybody's excited.
Coach, when the brackets came out in Division 7, did you look at it and be like, man, D7's tough? Or did you look at it and think, you know what, there's a path. We got a shot. There's some good teams out there, but I feel like we've got a shot.
Yeah, I literally looked at it. I kept an eye on everybody in the division, so I kind of had a feeling. I'd film on pretty much the top 10. And, we looked at it, and I was like, you know what, we have a shot at this, especially after going through the Southwestern League. you feel like you can play against almost anybody when you can compete with our league. So we feel like we've been a seasoned team. We won some close ones, lost a close one, got blown out. We've blown people out. So we've gone through a lot of adversity this year and success. And so we felt pretty confident, let's go play Friday night.
So, Coach, it's Thanksgiving this week, obviously. So what's the message to the players about not overeating? Don't go back for seconds or thirds. I mean, do you talk to them about food at all? Or you say, hey, guys, just enjoy it? I mean, what's your approach to Thanksgiving?
No, honestly, we did. We just got done with practice, and we talked to them about keeping the same rhythm, routine, getting up in the morning, sacrifice it one more week where, you just do what you always do. Don't eat too much, everything. As a matter of fact, we're bringing them in at 8 o'clock Friday morning just to make sure they get out of bed so that they don't come in all, groggy and everything. So, yeah, everything's been talked about, and there's a plan in place.
So it sounds like you want to keep that same routine. Their body clock knows exactly what their habits are throughout the season. But are you superstitious at all? Are there certain things that you do before a big game or any game, or you wear the same hat, you eat the same food, the same song? I mean, is there anything like that?
No, I'm not really a superstitious person at all. So no, I don't have any of those things. I just believe in doing the same routines, just because you want to be consistent and take care of details. But no, I don't care really. Little changes here and there to me. I'm not superstitious in that way.
Well, the Golden Bears are back. The D7 finals taking on, it's Cypress, but at Western High School in Anaheim. Hope you guys can make that short drive out there to Orange County and cheer on the Golden Bears. Temecula Valley going for the championship. Coach, it's always good talking to you. Hey, and if you win this week, we'll see you in the state playoffs the following week. Again, your season will continue.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully, everything works out great and we take care of the business that way. But right now, we got to be 1-0. That's it, 1-0.
Well, Coach, we always do appreciate the time. Congratulations on the season so far. It's already been great. Now you have a chance to really put the icing on the cake with a CIF Southern Section championship in D7. So thank you, Coach Esposito. We always appreciate the time, and best of luck on Friday night.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Take care.
All right, you too, Coach. That's Coach Esposito from Temecula Valley breaking it down. Yeah, they're going to play Cypress. That's at Western High School in Anaheim, D7 title, so it's going to be a lot of fun. And Temecula Valley, one of 3 teams in our inland sports coverage area, and we got a fancy graphic to show you because we have Temecula Valley in D7. We got Aquinas in Division 5 and Ramona in Division 13. So those are the 3 games involving our local teams. Aquinas will play on the road at St. Paul. That is over towards the Los Angeles area, kind of over by Pico Rivera over there. We got Temecula Valley at Cypress, we just heard, playing at Western High School in Anaheim, D7, Division 13. Esperanza will play at Ramona. The Rams, man, I don't know how the coin flips worked out, but the Rams have been at home a lot through the playoffs. That's good news for Ram High. They've been at home, so that's good news for Ken Machinski and the Rams. A little bit later in the show, we will hear from Ken Machinski, the head coach at Ramona. We also have a soundbite from Jordan Brusig, the head coach at Aquinas High School. So, again, we're covering all 3 games hard here on the Inland Sports Show for our 3 local teams playing for CIF Southern Section championships. Now let's go to our spoiled slick play of the week. And in fact, we got 2 of them because there's now 2 spoiled locations in Riverside. One off the 215 at Alessandro, one off the 91 at Arlington. So 2 locations, 2 plays of the week. Let's go to the first one right now because, oh man, and this was dramatic. Let's go down to Temecula Valley High School. It was quarterback Zach Kutka to Anson Pulsifer. The touchdown toss with 10 seconds to play. That's your game winner, everybody. 31-28. Temecula Valley beats West Ranch, and that is our first spoiled slick play of the week. We also have a second spoiled slick play of the week. Now let's go to that one as well because this one was just too good to pass up. Now, I know Centennial lost against St. John Bosco, but did you guys see this catch from Gary Bryant? Take a look. diving on his fingertips. Listen, we're going to play that back and we're going to slow it down so you can see it one more time and really just soak it in. Gary Bryant, one of the top receivers in the history of the IE, certainly this area. Look at that grab. Gary Bryant is going to be a big-time Division I college football player, but that was his final game in a Centennial uniform. It's also a spoiled, slick play of the week. Congratulations, Gary Bryant. Great season by Centennial. They did lose to St. John Bosco in the Division I semifinals. But we don't care. We still love the Huskies. They'll be back next year. Matt Logan will have them ready to go once again. It'll be Bosco against Mater Dei in the Division I CIF Southern Section Finals. When we come back, more high school football. We will show you highlights of Aquinas winning also in dramatic fashion on the road against Glendora. We'll be back on the Inland Sports Show.
What's going on, guys? This is Ray Bass from Boost Performance Training. You're watching the Inland Sports Show with the one and only Pep Fernandez.
The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Spoiled. Quick, quality oil change. Spoil yourself and your car at Spoiled. Ken Sporting Goods. They have all of your sporting gear needs, Letterman's jackets, and team uniforms. Boost Performance Training with Coach Ray Bass. Athletes of all levels and all sports are going to Boost Performance Training in Corona. Mike's Fitness Equipment. Check out the new storeroom on La Cadena. Quality fitness equipment at affordable prices. Mike's Fitness Equipment. And JoJo's Grill-A-Dog, located in the Mountain Grove Shopping Center in Redlands. Let's be frank, not all dogs are created equal. JoJo's Grill-A-Dog.
I would say the one thing that we stress more than anything else is service to our customer. Make sure that they're taking care of whatever you can do to make sure that that order gets to them on time and it's the right quality and what they want. I've been that way since 1976. That was my goal, to reach out to local sports programs, and it's grown from there, and we've been very, very fortunate. My grandson is right over here. He's working for us, and he's going to college right now, and that's exactly what my son did 20-some years ago, and it keeps on going, you know. Customers that come in the store that it's amazing. People that I haven't been here since I was a little kid, and I used to come in here all the time, and then now I'm bringing my son in here, or a grandpa that's bringing his grandson in here that came in here when we first opened back in '76. We just feel so fortunate to have been a part of this community and this Inland Empire for going into our 44th year now, and it's just been a blessing.
Just opened up our new location off the 91 in Arlington and Riverside. Come check us out and get spoiled for a change.
business driving. It would be south on the 215 near the 60 interchange, kind of over there by Alessandro. And I look up and I see a brand new billboard, and it's got Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, who played last night for the first time together on the court. And it says, "We over me." Ooh. So I don't know if it's a slide at the Lakers saying, hey, we're a team, we're about each other, we're not individuals, we're not, about the individual accolades. It's we over me. So if you're a Kawhi fan, a Clippers fan, it's actually a pretty sweet billboard. It's right there off the 215 in Moreno Valley. Right. 40, I've been waiting for this game for 12 months, and we finally get it. It's Centennial at home for St. John Bosco, CIF Southern Section Division I semifinals. And St. John Bosco, as good as they are, they've never made a trip to the IE.
That's the thing. As good as these programs are.
12 months ago, we knew this game was going to happen. Now we finally get it. It's going to be popping off at Centennial Friday night.
Sports. Welcome back to the Mike's Fitness Equipment Studio. It's the Inland Sports Show.
That's right, the Mike's Fitness Equipment Studio. It's Pep Fernandez. It's the Inland Sports Show, live and amplified at Teen Vision TV 16. I mean, we're really blowing it out with the high school football, right? It's championship round. If you are still playing the week of Thanksgiving, you are having yourself a championship season, at least putting yourself in the championship game, right? Again, 3 local teams, Temecula Valley, Aquinas, and Ramona. We heard from Temecula Valley head coach Bert Esposito. Now we're going to hear in just a moment from Aquinas head coach Jordan Brusig. The Falcons coming off a dramatic win on the road against Glendora in the Division 5 semifinals. Let's check out some of those highlights. It all went down at Cypress College against the Tartans. And Aquinas, man, they can air it out. Francisco Mauigoa, Terrence Fall, the big 1-2 combination, quarterback to receiver, and they were getting it done. Man, these guys are good. Aquinas has a great defense, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again, the offense is explosive now. That is a dangerous combination for all those other teams, including St. Paul. That will be their opponent in the Division 5 finals. So Aquinas had to beat Glendora in the semis first, and it all came down to a field goal attempt. Angel Pais boots it through with 3 seconds left, and Aquinas would win their semifinal by a final score of 24-21 against Glendora. So that means Aquinas going to the Division 5 championship to take on St. Paul. And listen, I was told there's deep, deep roots between Aquinas and St. Paul. So here's the deal. So the legend, Dick Bruick, before he was at Fontana, he was at St. Paul. Well, years down the road, Coach Henderson, who formerly of Aquinas, now at Grace Brethren, picked up everything he knew from Coach Bruick and put it at Aquinas. Well, of course, Jordan Brusig and Coach Henderson, and all those deep ties now going back to Aquinas, which everything goes back to Dick Bruick, right, in the Inland Empire. He's the godfather of high school football in our area. But so there are ties between Aquinas and St. Paul. So Aquinas will make the trip. That's Friday night to St. Paul for the Division 5 championship. After that big semifinal win, we caught up with Falcons head coach Jordan Brusig to get his thoughts on picking up that win and advancing to the championship round.
Inland Sports.
5 finals back in a CIF championship game. That's why you come to Aquinas, right?
Yeah, man. We pride ourselves on what we do every day, and these guys are sowing good seeds, and they deserve this.
So this week of practice coming up, I mean, there's not a lot of teams practicing the week of Thanksgiving. Do you kind of relay the importance of, business as usual, or hype it up? It's a championship game.
It's step forward, man, and you know what? You got to get all the way to the championship to get a turkey story, so we're pretty happy about that.
Congratulations, Coach.
Thanks, Pat. Appreciate it, man.
Inland Sports.
That's the thing, man. If you're practicing on Thanksgiving, it's a big, big deal. And Coach Esposito mentioned it. Coach Brusig now for Aquinas. It's a big, big deal. Let's go to our Mike's Fitness Equipment Athlete of the Week. And I just mentioned him in those highlights. It's Terrence Fall from Aquinas. He made some huge catches. In fact, he had a huge catch to set up the game-winning field goal. But he had some huge catches. That big touchdown catch. He also had a very timely interception against Glendora. he was all over. I mean, he was playing both sides of the football. It's that time of the year. You want your best players on the field at all times, and that's where we find Terrence Fall on offense, on defense, and doing it all. There was the interception against Glendora. Terrence Fall, he's our Mike's Fitness Equipment Athlete of the Week and very well deserving. Huge game against Glendora in the Division 5 semifinals. And let's go to Division 13. In our next segment, we will have an interview with head coach Ken Machinski from the Rams. But we got some highlights. Let's check out those of their win the previous Friday from our good friends at Riverside TV as they were able to knock off top seed Alhambra. Ramona, again, have had a lot of home games here in the playoffs, and they were trying to get back to the championship, well, at least give themselves a shot at winning a championship for the first time since the early 80s. It's been a while at Ram High, but they were able to build a lead on Alhambra. Now, give credit to Alhambra. They were able to battle back and make this game kind of interesting. But the Rams, you cannot deny the Rams. Ram High would hold on. 28-24 the final score. So the Rams are moving on to the championship game. It will be Saturday night against Esperanza for the championship. And there's old Dante Roby doing Dante Roby things. Man, he is so good. But yeah, so Ramona wins in the semis in Division 13, 28-24. Now back home Saturday night against Esperanza. So back here live in the studio, we've got to get to our Ken's Sporting Goods must-see game of the week. And of our three local teams that have reached championship games, Ramona is the only one to have a home game. Temecula Valley is on the road. Aquinas is on the road. So let's go to the graphic. It's our Ken's must-see game this week. It's because it's the only game in town. In terms of the Inland Empire, Ram High is the place to be. Saturday night, Ramona against Esperanza. Aztecs and Rams, winner take all in Division 13. Hey, and I know you don't like to look too far ahead, but if you win the CIF Southern Section title, you're going to the state playoffs. You're playing another week. So it's Ram High and Esperanza Saturday night Division 13 championship. It's our Ken Sporting Goods must-see game of the week because it is our only in-town game. I hope that people make the trip to see Temecula Valley play at Western High School in their championship game in Division 7 against Cypress, or Aquinas on the road at St. Paul. But if you're looking to stay kind of local, in town, Ramona, Esperanza, Saturday night, Division 13 championship. And this is kind of wacky, but we already have one CIF Southern Section champion already crowned because they didn't even have to play the game. The Division 12 champion, without even having to take the field, is El Monte. Let's go to some highlights of Orange Vista against Adelanto from this previous week. This was the Division 12 semifinals between Adelanto and Orange Vista. It was live and amplified on Teen Vision TV 16. So if you want to see the entire game, it's right now on VVUSD Teen Vision on Vimeo. So you got to go over to Vimeo. But Adelanto and Orange Vista, a rematch of last year's CIF Southern Section Championship game. It was chippy throughout, so there is a history there's a history between the two teams going back to last season. But what happened was, so Adelanto built a big lead. It was 41-0 going in the third quarter, and things got so chippy that the referees decided to call the game. They said, that's it, we've seen enough, because the two teams, again, getting a little too out of control, and with Adelanto up 41-0, I guess you could say the outcome of the game was a foregone conclusion. It looked like up 41-0 that Adelanto, the Saints, were going to win this semifinal game in Division 12. But again, because it got so out of hand in the third quarter, Adelanto and Orange Vista, the game was called. It was over. And we just found out over the weekend on Sunday that the CIF Southern Section has ruled that not only is Orange Vista out of the playoffs, but because they did lose, but Adelanto is as well, because it's going to go down as a double forfeit. So Adelanto and Orange Vista are both out of the CIF Southern Section playoffs. It is officially a double forfeit. So that means Adelanto is not moving on in the Division 12 playoffs, and their would-be opponent, the team that won the other Division 12 semifinal, that would be El Monte, who beat Jurupa Hills. El Monte is the champion already. Without taking the field, the Division 12 championship has already been decided, and that is El Monte. So unfortunate turn of events there, but El Monte is your champion in Division 12. When we come back, we're going to Ram High. We're going to have a live interview with head coach Ken Machinski. We're also going to check on RCC. The Tigers will be playing for a Southern California championship. So a big weekend of football in Riverside. We'll have that when we come back on the Inland Sports Show.
This is Alexander Madison. You're watching the Inland Sports Show.
Inland Sports.
What's going on, guys? Coach Bass here. We're here at the new Boost Performance Center here at 500 Harrington Street in Corona, California. We got a bigger space, more room for strength training, speed training, everything our athletes need. We got our student athletes here getting their studying done. So some of the different things we're going to be offering here at the new Boost Performance Center is really focusing on recovery, whether that be physical therapy or active recovery with yoga. We're also going to be offering nutrition classes for the general public. So really taking a more well-rounded approach to fitness for athletes, of course. Come check us out at our new facility. We're going to be opening soon. Can't wait to have you guys here.
Just opened up our new location off the 91 in Arlington and Riverside. Come check us out and get spoiled for a change.
The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Spoiled. Quick, quality oil change. Spoil yourself and your car at Spoiled. Ken Sporting Goods. They have all of your sporting gear needs, Letterman's jackets, and team uniforms. Boost Performance Training with Coach Ray Bass. Athletes of all levels and all sports are going to Boost Performance Training in Corona. Mike's Fitness Equipment. Check out the new storeroom on La Cadena. Quality fitness equipment at affordable prices. Mike's Fitness Equipment. And JoJo's Grill-A-Dog, located in the Mountain Grove Shopping Center in Redlands. Let's be frank, not all dogs are created equal. JoJo's Grill-A-Dog. Welcome back to the Mike's Fitness Equipment Studio. It's the Inland Sports Show.
And welcome back to the Mike's Fitness Equipment Studio for the Inland Sports Show. Talking a lot of football as we get deep into the postseason championship round for high school and the junior colleges almost there. RCC, we got some highlights of their big win. I'm talking big win against Mount Sac. 48-0. Jacob Barledge, the MVP, the former Valley View High School star who, well, he sat right here in the studio not too long ago. RCC improving to 11-0 on the season. They smack Mount Sac in the Southern California semifinals. So now RCC is headed for the fourth straight year to the Southern California Championship game, and it will be at Wheelock Stadium right here in the Riverside, as they will take on the College of the Canyons Saturday night at Wheelock. If RCC wins that one, let's just say for the sake of conversation, the Tigers beat Canyons on Saturday night, RCC would take on the winner of the College of San Mateo and Modesto in Northern California. That would be the state championship game. But first things first, RCC would have to beat Canyons this Saturday night for the Southern California title. 4 straight years to the SoCal championship game. Let's hope the Tigers can get it done on Saturday night against College of the Canyons. And now we're switching gears back to high school football. We're talking about Ram High Ramona back in a CIF Southern Section championship game. And joining us from practice, the head coach of the Rams, Ken Machinski. Coach, not a lot of teams are practicing the week of Thanksgiving. A lot to be thankful for at Ram High. How does it feel going up for a championship this week?
It is fantastic. We talk about it every year. The goal is to practice on Thanksgiving, and for it finally to get here and for the kids to accomplish what they've accomplished, it's super special and pretty magical too.
Well, Coach, it seems like the entire city of Riverside is behind the Rams. Everyone's, cheering for the powder blue and the Navy out there trying to get that win. What is it like having just the school and the community rally around this team that, so desperately wants a championship?
It's pretty incredible. The support from, everybody, from community members, from our fantastic administration and staff here, and support staff also on school, from the parents and the booster club and a huge support, my wife Jennifer. It has just been great. It's been I can't put it into words because it's just been so special, and we're just trying to take it all in and trying to soak it all up and bring one home for Ram High.
Well, Coach, smart move, thanking your wife. That's a smart move. You'll be happy around the Thanksgiving table. You'll be happy. Well, Coach, it's been a long time since Ramona won a CIF Southern Section title. When was the last time?
It was actually my senior year in high school, coincidentally, 1988. The Rams, I can't remember who they played, but they actually tied, and back then they didn't have a tiebreaker, so they shared the CIF championship. And another ironic thing, I think they did it back in 1982, also same result, they tied. So in reality, Ramona has never won an outright football CIF championship, so that just adds a little bit more excitement to Saturday night's game. Yeah,
that's an interesting caveat. They've never won an outright CIF
correct.
title.
Correct. I better say that because they did win it. I don't want some guys from 82 and 89 coming in and breaking down my door.
Well, Coach, big win against Alhambra, the top seed in your division, Division 13. Now you've got Esperanza, and that's Saturday night at Ramona High School. I know you guys are out there on the practice field. You're getting ready for Esperanza, but I'm sure you've already looked at film. What do you know about this team? What's going to make them tough?
You know what? They're very similar to us. They're not real huge. I would say that they're a little bit faster than us. Their defense flies around. They have a very, very good running back that has over 2,000 yards. Definitely need to stop him. But they're a pretty well-oiled machine. Like I say, they're very similar to us in makeup. It's going to be a real fantastic game on Saturday night.
Well, Coach, we'll let you get back to practice. I know it's a big week. You got Thanksgiving, rolled in there somewhere. So best of luck on Saturday night. I know everyone's cheering for you guys.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Have a happy Thanksgiving and a great week here, and let's go get them.
All right. Thank you. That's Coach Ken Machinski at Ramona High School. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
All right. One of the good guys out there. We always appreciate his time joining us here on the Inland Sports Show. When we come back, we will go inside the Lancers, presented by Magnolia Heating and Cooling. We'll talk CBU women's basketball when we come back.
96.7 KCal Rocks. What's up? It's Patrick and 40. Hey, man, you're watching the Inland Sports Show right here. Make sure you check out Pep, man. It's Inland Sports with Pep, but he's on every Monday and Thursday morning with Sports with Pep, man. You guys rock.
I would say the one thing that we stress more than anything else is service to our customer. Make sure that they're taking care of whatever you can do to make sure that that order gets to them on time and it's the right quality and what they want. I've been that way since 1976. That was my goal, to reach out to local sports programs, and it's grown from there, and we've been very, very fortunate. My grandson is right over here. He's working for us, and he's going to college right now, and that's exactly what my son did 20-some years ago, and it keeps on going, you know. Customers that come in the store that it's amazing. People that I haven't been here since I was a little kid, and I used to come in here all the time, and then now I'm bringing my son in here, or a grandpa that's bringing his grandson in here that came in here when we first opened back in '76. We just feel so fortunate to have been a part of this community and this Inland Empire for going into our 44th year now, and it's just been a blessing.
Here at the Boost Alternative School for Student Athletes, we provide a collegiate experience for our students. They study here, they train here, balancing that student-athlete life. And it's a great experience. I recommend for anyone who's serious about their student and athlete life. So because we're a small private school, we're really able to bring a lot of technology to our students. So we're able to provide a lot of what you wouldn't find at your typical public school. We really feel like we're on the cutting edge of education and on sports development as well. So whether it be recovery or just their strength and speed development, you can find it here at the new Boost Performance Center. We're providing everything our athletes need to be the best student athletes they can be.
Just opened up our new location off the 91 in Arlington and Riverside. Come check us out and get spoiled for a change.
Oh, he does? Yeah.
I believe that with anything you're doing, that you have to believe. And welcome back to the Inland Sports Show at the Mike's Fitness Equipment Studio. It's time to go inside the Lancers, presented by Magnolia Heating and Cooling. If you haven't heard, the California Baptist women's basketball team is really good. 6-0 to start the season. There's not a lot of teams in all the land in Division I basketball that have started undefeated at 6-0, and CBU is one of them. Joining us live on the show right now, one of the stars for the Lancers, the great Lexy Ram. Lexy, how are you doing tonight? 6-0 sounds pretty good right now, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. Hey, and even better news for you. I saw that you are the WAC Player of the Week. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
So you had 32 against Northern Arizona. Then you come back with 31 and 12 rebounds in that crazy double overtime win against UC Santa Barbara. What's it been like this past week, just being able to know that whatever your team needs, you can deliver? If they need you to play inside and kind of play more of a post role, because I know you guys are lacking some of your post players, or if you need to just pile up the points, you do a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's been kind of a challenge without our post players, but I think we've all done a great job of just stepping up, sticking to our game plan, and just playing hard.
Well, Lexy, a 6-0 start. Life Pacific comes to town Tuesday night to wrap up that season-opening 7-game homestand. And I know, obviously, all your attention right now is on Life Pacific, but it's really hard, at least from my vantage point, to look ahead to that tournament in Canada where you will see number 3 Stanford on the schedule. Are you excited about the challenge of going up against the Cardinal and traditionally one of the best women's basketball programs around?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all really excited. We get the chance to play one of the best teams in the country. It'll definitely be a challenge, but I think it'll be a great experience and we'll learn a lot.
Lexy, what's it like playing at the CBU Event Center? Because I'm just sitting there as a bystander, and it's a lot of fun. But man, the student section gets into it. They got all the lights and the music, and I mean, it's just a great atmosphere. Do you guys feed off of that? Can you feel that when you're on the court?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a beautiful arena. We're so lucky to play here. We get a ton of support from people at the school, so we're just really blessed to be here.
Well, Lexy, now that you're a senior at CBU, what was your goals going into this season? Was it a WAC regular season championship? Was it get back to the WNIT? What were some of the goals that you and this team set out for yourselves before this great 6-0 start?
Yeah, I mean, last year we didn't get off to a great start, but we ended pretty well. And so this year it's kind of the same thing, get back to where we were, win the WAC, and then make the postseason tournament. And last year we lost first round, so this year we're definitely going to win a few games in the tournament.
Now, you've got some great post players in Brittany Thomas and Caitlin Harper. That's the good news. The bad news is they're both hurt right now. So the team has really rallied together with a smaller lineup, but it proved that it can still win, as you guys were able to beat UC Santa Barbara the other night. And UCSB had just beaten USC, so that's a quality win against the Gauchos. What did you think of your performance and the team's performance in that double overtime win with a smaller lineup for the Lancers?
Yeah, I mean, I think going into the game, we were all a little nervous without our post player, but I think as the game went on, we saw that we're capable of still competing. And we all just really scrapped and played hard, and it was nice to see that pay off.
Yeah, that was a couple big wins last week against Northern Arizona. That was the education day, I think it was, the morning game on Thursday, and then you come back with an afternoon on Saturday, a Saturday matinee against UC Santa Barbara to get 2 quality wins. And again, Life Pacific tomorrow night, Tuesday night, to finish up this season opening homestand. Could it be good for a team to open up with so many games at home to kind of maybe build that cohesiveness of, that quote unquote, that chemistry to gel together early on in the year like this?
Yeah, I mean, playing at home is a definite advantage, especially for us. I mean, we love playing here. So I think it was a good way to get some momentum going, and hopefully it'll help us when we go on the road.
Well, Lexy, you had 12 rebounds in that big double overtime win against the Gauchos. But if I ask you, are you more, comfortable from beyond the arc, hanging out on the outside, or do you not mind mixing it up and going inside and trying to grab some rebounds?
I mean, I'm definitely more of a shooter, but I kind of take what the defense gives me. And I know, especially now without post players, I'm definitely going to have to rebound more. All the guards are going to have to rebound more. So just kind of stepping up and filling in that role.
Well, sports information guru Daniel Cook hit me up with a bunch of stats on you and the team this year. But right now, you're first in the WAC in total rebounds on the season. I don't know if you know that. You're averaging about 17 points per game. You're second in the WAC in three-pointers made right now. And this team, again, at 6-0 with a chance to move to 7-0 in Division I. There's only 4 other teams right now that are 6-0 in the entire nation. Binghamton, Arizona, South Carolina, Carolina, and CBU. So a total of 4, including the Lancers. When you hear all that, are you impressed, surprised? What are your feelings when you think of just the great start that this team and yourself individually has enjoyed so far early on in this year?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little crazy. Like I said, like last year, we didn't start off so well. So I think we've just been super determined to come in and kind of prove ourselves and prove that we can compete Division I. So it's just great to see it paying off.
And finally, Lexy, when you have it dialed in from long range, can you kind of describe what's that like? Do you feel like, you know what, there's no shot that's a bad shot? You just feel like, hey, you know, everything's kind of clicking. As long as I'm staying within the offense, I'm going to put up that shot if I've got the look that I want. Yeah, definitely. After you start making a few, it just kind of, you don't have to really think about it. And it's nice because our coach, you know, wants those kind of shots. So yeah, once you get a few going, it's nice to know you can keep shooting. Well, actually, one more question then, because I know we mentioned it that you're playing Stanford coming up at this tournament in Victoria, Canada. I think, is that Thanksgiving Day that you guys play Stanford? Is that right? Yeah, we play Thanksgiving Day. Have you thought about what it's like to be on the road? Have you guys been on the road before at CBU on the week of Thanksgiving? And you know, do you guys have still the Thanksgiving spread? You know, surrounded instead of family, you got your teammates around the Thanksgiving table? No, actually, we'll normally have games the same week as Thanksgiving, but we've never actually played on Thanksgiving Day, so it'll be a new experience. But yeah, we're like a big family, so we'll be with each other, and that'll be nice. Well, Lexy, we appreciate the time. We'll see you Tuesday night against Life Pacific, 6 o'clock tip-off from the CBU Event Center, and then again going on the road for the first time this season at the tournament in Victoria, Canada, and they open things up with the Stanford Cardinal Thursday on Thanksgiving. Lexy, we appreciate the time, and best of luck. Thank you. Thanks for having me. Thank you. We appreciate it. So that was Inside the Lancers, presented by Magnolia Heating and Cooling. And again, CBU women's basketball 6-0. Good shot to move to 7-0 come tomorrow night. So they will likely be undefeated 7-0 against the Stanford Cardinal. I'm just saying, how much do they have to do to crack into the top 25 rankings? I'm just putting it out there. If they shock Stanford, we got to get them in the top 25, no doubt, right? So we'll see what CBU can do later this week at the Victoria, Canada tournament. In fact, I was looking at the schedule. There's some really good teams besides Stanford at that tournament. Other colleges that you will obviously recognize: Houston, Syracuse, San Francisco, Mississippi State, Bowling Green, and Green Bay. So CBU opening things up on Thanksgiving night, 7:30 p.m. up there north of the border. So that was Inside the Lancers, presented by Magnolia Heating and Cooling, with their star Lexy Ram, who's a big-time three-point shooter, but she can rebound the basketball as well. Definitely, she can do that. All right, that's going to do it for this show. We got to thank our entire team behind the scenes at Teen Vision TV 16. We're going early this week so we can all enjoy our family and friends a little bit more this week of Thanksgiving. We've got a lot to be thankful for around here on the Inland Sports Show, and we appreciate you as well who have followed us along for all these years and watch every single week. We do appreciate it. It's why we do what we do. We love the Inland Empire and we love sports. My name's Pep Fernandez. We'll see you next week on the Inland Sports Show.